78th hour of Adventurers Wanted Rebellion. Yes. That laugh is indicative of our mental states at the moment. My name is Leo. I'm going to be your games master this morning. This is a relaxed performance, which means that we have a relaxed attitude to sound and movement from the audience for the benefit of those who would struggle to stay silent or still for an entire hour. The lights are going to stay exactly like this, and while there might be some mood music throughout, there will be no loud sound effects this hour. If you do feel like you need anything, Naomi is our stage manager. She's over your right shoulder there, so give her a wave. But if you do feel like you just need a break, feel free to duck out the door you came in and ask one of the sweet staff to readmit you when you're ready. Don't worry about that. We're happy with people coming in and out. Also, if you have any questions, there's 77 hours of backstory, so if you do have any questions, this is a continuous plot we've been playing, so we're not doing the same hour every hour. Do please feel free to ask.
What happened in those 77 hours, please?
I'll get there, don't worry.
In detail.
So, what is this? This is a tabletop role-playing game, which means that the four people on my right and left play individual, unique characters in a fantasy setting. And as the game master, I control the fantasy setting. The weather, the trees, the antagonists, the allies that they have. And to try and keep things fair, we interact with one another using dice. The most common die you'll hear us talk about is the D20, the 20-sided die. Or icosahedron, if you're feeling especially nerdy. In general, high numbers are better, low numbers are worse, so keep your ear out for those as we go along, but we won't be stopping to explain all of the maths because there's just a lot of it. Yes, so, story so far. The four characters that you'll be meeting are members of a rebellion. For 5 years, they were enslaved by an imperial cult and forced to mine a mysterious ore, which has these properties of time bending and space bending, and it's also very explosive. They fought a war to get this cult off of their world, basically, and are now chasing them through dimensions, portal to portal, to try and make sure that they don't enslave any other worlds. To finish them off once and for all. Having done that, having gone through the portals, they have made the sacrifice that they may never see their homeland again. They are not entirely sure how these portals work. So that's where we're at. Where we just left off, they were sneaking up on the cult. Sneaking up on the cult, you'll see. Sneaking up on the cult as they were trying to deconstruct a new temple. They don't actually know what they're doing in this new temple yet, but they're sneaking up on the cult in a temple. We'll see. We'll pick back up from there in a moment, but first let's meet our players and their characters. So, on my right, we have, tell us your name, your character's name, your pronouns, and give us a little bit about where you're at the moment.
My name is James. I am a he, him. My character's name is Locke, who is also a he, him. He's a warlock and a tiefling. Tieflings are like half devils.
Yeah, that's correct.
Big horns and a tail and red skin. Though he's very laid back and he's totally fine with leaving his homeworld and just wishes the dice would stop rolling ones.
James has not been rolling very well
for the last 5 years.
G.
Hi, I'm G. I go by he, him. My character is Harvey, also he, him, and is an Aarakocra, which means sort of bird type person. If you want to know what Harvey looks like, our stage manager Nemo did an amazing bit of artwork you can find on Twitter. It's exactly how I imagined Harvey. So he's quite parrot-like, he's blue and yellow. And he's a cleric, so he's good at healing people, but he forgets to do it sometimes.
Fantastic. Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I am a he, him. My character is also a he, him, and his name is Barksby, a furball druid. Furball being a half cow person that stands 70, kind of bluish fur.
I've just realised all of you are like half X, half humans.
Yeah.
You've got half devil, half bird, half cow, and half dragon.
Yeah, no humans at the table today.
Jeez.
Wait to spoil my intro here.
Sorry. Go, carry on.
And Druid's being nature-based. He's got a abnormal fascination with fungus and vines and plants and stuff. So, yeah.
And he's currently a dog?
Oh yeah, I'm a dog, aren't I?
Yeah, he's used his magic to wild shape himself into a dog.
Making my way through this dog-on-dog world.
Nathan.
How to follow that. My name is Hesh Aegis Hearthborn. Hesh is my clan name, Aegis is my family name, and Hearthborn is just my given name. I'm a paladin dragonborn. I was banished from my clan. They would say because of theft. I would say because of sexism. So, two sides to every story.
And
yes.
I was going to say.
Yes, we don't live in a gender swap world. I am. My character is she, her, and I, myself, and I'm he, him. And I've just realised that everyone's been really clever with their names. I played with an hour with a guy who's a warlock called Locke, and I didn't get that, so thank you. I just realised that was
His first name is Warren.
I keep making political philosophy jokes, and he doesn't get them.
Oh,
so.
yeah, I'm here now, master of philosophy.
He sent me articles, and I've not read them.
Oh yes, he was a philosopher, wasn't he? Yeah, I should know that. I got the warlock thing first. Good. And a Harvey Bird person. That's really good.
You still not picked
Fantastic.
up on Barksby yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go on. What is a paladin? No. Would you
I'm a defender of the weak. I'm kind of a wandering good person. I'm quite strong and I can hit stuff, but I've got a heart and I can talk to people.
like an old school sort of crusader knight type thing.
I was looking at this because your little sort of
Yes.
symbol is like.
Imagine Superman with a sword and shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My particular one was trained was training to be a bodyguard for the village chief. But women can't do that in that society, so had to leave.
Okay, so on that cheery note, let's jump straight back into where we were. So where we had just left off, the players emerged out of a rune minefield in a small copse around this temple, the temple rising up out of it, to find a lizard person whose name they did not ask, petting their dog, which is actually Barksby. And they asked immediately for him to stop and discarded him and are moving on. Yep.
I know you spend a lot of time writing these characters.
I do, don't I?
And I don't care.
Great.
Power through.
So as you're sneaking up
Probably did.
they do. So it's a very clever pun. As you're
Wait, what's your name?
No, you don't get it now. As you're sneaking up on the temple, Harvey flies out to join you and lands beside you.
So I'd like to say that having seen everybody else go through the portal, I'd followed through, and while they've been dealing with this rune minefield, I've been sort of flying overhead, trying to see what I can see.
Okay, roll a perception check on me then. 5. What you can see is there are members of the cult in their green and red garb outside the doors of this temple, and they see you seeing them, and they point at you, and they shout loudly to each other, and then move inside, and then there's more noise, and you've essentially blown everybody.
Awesome.
What you don't.
But
see
it's
is that
okay
crossbow bolt coming
because
towards your face.
Sorry, but it's okay because just before that there was also a massive thunderclap from the rune minefield, so it wasn't just you; it was everyone else.
Okay. So I
You'll
swoop
fit
in.
right in here.
I swoop in and land. I think we've been spotted, guys.
I'm marching forward to try and...
Okay, you're marching forward. You're not sneaking forward.
No, like...
Okay, that's fine. So
Using the word
you're just
stealth
going to
like
run
we
up.
did it.
That's fine. You start. So Locke begins running up the steps of this cigarette.
My natural instinct is to put my body and shield in front of him. So I don't know who's faster.
I'm running along. I'm going to bring the tank with me.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Want to put it like that? Sure.
Tank being a role-playing term for someone who can take a lot of damage. So
Also use the word meat shield.
I think
But they
know
have a
that
name and a personality and a backstory, blah blah.
Hopes and dreams, and yeah.
So the two of you start pacing up the steps to the top of this cigarette. As you do, there are various cultists who appear at the top and begin to cast magic down at you. What are the two of you doing?
I think seeing the people on top casting magic down at us, I take off and sort of start circling and getting ready to attack them if they start doing us serious real damage.
Okay, cool. Can I get dexterity saving throws from the both of you, please?
Oh, I'm only a...
That's not good, is it, James? Nope.
Welcome to my dice rolls. Very rarely above a 10.
What did you get?
8.
8. Okay, so you both fail. That's not that bad. Oops.
Higher the better.
Well, anything above a 20 is incredibly impressive. Below a 10 is below average.
And we're rolling on 20-sided dice. Oh, sorry, sir.
Okay, cool. That's a really good question. So, what happens is the two cultists stood there at the top begin to create these small beads of light, these red beads of light at the top of the ziggurat, and then they throw them down at you. And as one of them lands in the middle between the two of you, it explodes into this ball of fire, and the both of you take 15 points of fire damage.
Now, I have two questions.
Yes.
It's the same question, but I am have resistance to fire
Yep.
and resistance to magic. What does that mean in this situation?
Just get half.
So it's...
Yeah, so
7.
7 points for yourself. As the fire plays over the half-devil's skin, it doesn't affect him as much as it would the Dragonborn, who begins to actually get burned on the side of her scales. So you see a fireball go off, Harvey, from these two cultists at the top there.
How far away are they?
Up, they're probably another 30 feet up in the air. This is like you're climbing the sides of a small cigarette here.
Can we see what kind of creatures they are?
One on the left is an elf, the one on the right is a human. Because I'm not going to introduce a bunch more fantasy species for no reason whatsoever.
So I cast command on them.
Oh, okay. Can you do it on 2? On 2?
If I cast it at second level,
Okay.
I can affect one additional.
So how does that appear?
So I can't remember how I did it last time. So this time I have my hands kind of glow green, and I swoop down and I land next to them.
Okay.
A hand on each shoulder as my glowing green hands, and there's a sort of glow that goes from my hands through their shoulders and up into their head.
And I need to roll saving throws against that, right?
Wisdom saving throw.
What's your DC?
16.
So both of them have failed. So as you land and the green glow comes out of your hands, what do you whisper to them as a command?
I just say, jump.
Jump?
Yes.
As in that way?
Yes.
Okay. And as that command is received, they both spring forward as far as they can. One of them manages to land halfway down the steps. He's now only about 10 feet away from the two of you. One of them fails completely, and as he falls, you can hear a snap in his leg, and he starts just tumbling down into the trees below. Barksby, what are you doing at this point?
Giving up hope.
Okay, cool.
I'm following behind
Locke and Harvey.
Yeah.
Locke and Hearthborn, sorry. So, Locke, Hearthborn, you've got a cultist 10 feet away from you who's just thrown a fireball at you. Boo, boo! Okay. Boo, boo. By which he means he's going to... Can you please... Come on, James.
Eldritch Blast.
Thank you.
Weapon of choice of all warlocks.
And if I remember correctly, these appear as like these red bolts of energy coming from your
much
hands,
like
right?
the blasters in Star Wars.
Okay.
Why I'm saying boo-boo.
Okay, roll your attacks for your boo-boos.
That is 22.
22 will hit.
Thank you. And I was hung on the 20 and then rolled over and became a 2. And that's 8. So
8
one will hit,
will not hit, so one of them will hit.
which hits for 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage, cool. So you watch as this red bolt of energy strikes the cultist in the chest. Hearthborn, he looks pretty shaky. It's up to you.
I can run up and hit him, right?
Yeah.
I run up and hit him.
I do not want to deny a paladin the opportunity to hit something.
And I can
What
attack
weapon are you using?
My axe.
Your axe. Okay, cool.
But can I use that thing that does like the same options?
Divine Smite.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but also Divine Smite.
Yeah, absolutely. So how does that appear for you particularly?
It's my brother's axe, which my mother gave to me, and that just means it means a lot to me. So
Okay, I've got something if you don't mind. So as you run up, roll your attack roll for me. I'm sure you'll hit because they're a cultist.
16 plus something probably.
Plus like 8 probably, something around that. So yeah, that definitely hits. So as you come up with your shield in one hand and your axe in the other, you pour your divine energy down your arm into it, and it looks like to the rest of you that it isn't just Hearthborn coming up and hitting the cultist with her axe, but actually as the point of impact happens, 3 other Dragonborn appear holding the axe as she has summoned the spirits of her ancestors to put extra woomph behind it. And then as soon as they had appeared, they're gone as well. So it's like all 3 of them are pushing this axe into it. You now get to roll your damage, which is, it should be on there, under your attacks there, plus 2d8.
Wait, what, sorry?
So you've got your 1d8.
You've got this, G.
Yeah.
See, we like inducting new people to the hobby.
I've only played.
Inducting.
I've only
Sounds
played.
like a cult.
I've only played 8 times before.
Yeah, I'm still getting my head around it.
So,
that plus 4, and then roll another 2 times.
meeting.
No, I am. I don't want to give the clues away.
So it's 13, 17.
17 is definitely going to kill this thing. This person, in fact, as you take your axe and drive it into the side of him, it goes quite deep, and when you pull out, he's bleeding very heavily. He just falls down and again begins to roll down the stairs. The path to the top of the ziggurat is clear as you see it.
What was his name?
John.
Ah, poor John.
Poor John.
I'll say a little
but
prayer
it's
for
spelt
him.
with a Y.
Of course, it's fantasy. Continue to.
Was it shortened to Joy?
I look at Halfboard and give her a nod, and then continue running up.
Okay, Harvey, you're already at the top there.
Yeah.
And as you turn around, you can see the retreating cloak of Zuktus, the leader of the cult, who is disappearing through this portal along with pretty much everybody else. In front of this green glowing archway, which is the portal, is a tablet on it looks almost like a brown soapstone tablet on a plinth, and it's glowing with this green energy, and it seems to be what is powering. Go on.
Really sorry for the questions.
No.
What's motivated this cult to be like? Is it just profit?
So they don't actually full on know that yet, but what they do know is that they came and they enslaved pretty much their entire country and forced them to mine this ore, which is what this archway, which is creating the portal, is made out of. The ore has various magical, very powerful properties, but they haven't got to the bottom of it yet because we still have 23 hours of plot. So we'll get there.
There's also a godlike being that came through and started the cult. So yeah.
Yes.
that
So is that the being that's just been ahead of you that you've seen the photo?
No, that's more of an archpriest of this godlike.
I like this audience. This audience is asking.
Yeah, this
You're
is
my,
nice.
You're my
yeah.
favourite audience.
Yeah.
I was too scared to ask these questions. I've only just turned up.
Yeah, why are we here?
Yeah, I asked very few questions before joining this cult. I mean, this revolution.
Right. Okay. So that's
sorry.
what you see, G.
So can I just double check this portal is at the top of this temple?
Yeah, it's in the middle of the floor,
Right.
at the top of this temple.
Okay.
Because what you've climbed up is sort of like a ziggurat. So it's got basically like an Aztec pyramid. It's got like an open space at the top, and that's what is in this open space.
Okay.
Go on.
No. Just
Harvey, what are you doing?
Cigarettes.
So there's nobody else around. I've just seen.
You've just seen them all retreat through the portal. Okay, so as Harvey stops and thinks,
I go over to investigate, but not necessarily touch the tablet.
Okay, roll an investigation check. As Harvey stopped to think, you all managed to get to the top of the stairs, so you all now see that as well.
Are they still?
No, you didn't see them leave.
So there's no one. Just.
You just see Harvey looking at this brown soapstone tablet, which is written in a language that you have no idea what it is.
Okay.
As you even look at it, it starts to warp language in your head, and you're hearing a whisper as you try and read this thing. Are you trying to listen to the whisper, or are you just going to disengage?
No, I'm trying to listen.
Okay, roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh.
Boy, oh boy.
You clearly weren't playing last
26.
26. The whisper, it just sounds like someone whispering in a foreign language. Very guttural, lots of tongue in this language. It's not something you've ever heard before. Do you mind, Jamie?
Shocking.
Right.
Okay.
The brown soapstone tablet, like I say, is glowing with this green magic, which is trying to, which is powering the portal, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
Shall we go through this portal?
Seems to, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go for it.
Let's hope that each portal we go through will be our last.
Oh.
You were all thinking it!
Wait, are we essentially
portal, and I
doing?
say, oh boy.
Okay,
Are we doing Portal Benny Hill right now?
pretty much. So, as you...
Well, you said last episode it's like Scooby-Doo, and it is going to be like there's going to be a corridor of portals.
It's pretty much it. So as you step, guys,
I was just confirming he was still a dog.
okay, you're still a dog,
Yeah, I'm still a dog.
and you're still a bird.
Yes.
That's really useful because as you step through this portal, you're just in the sky, and there is breakneck wind buffeting you from left to right. As you can see, another portal sort of 120 feet above you, and Zuktus goes through that one as well as he sees you coming in. This one, leaving some of his cultists behind with a fly spell, and they're just sort of there floating in midair. Harvey, roll a history check for me. Oh dear.
11.
You've probably heard bedtime stories of the elemental plane of air, but
I'm
never.
from there.
You're from there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is where you're at.
Yeah.
You've dropped into the elemental plane of air. None of the three of your buddies can fly.
Yeah. Okay.
As you begin basically falling, but you can't see any ground below you. This is just a. You're right.
that was me hitting the ground.
Okay. This is just
my own sound effects.
This is just a sky that goes on for as far as you can see it, and it just these crosswinds buffet you left and right as you begin to fall.
Boy.
Now, I have to ask a question because Harvey would know this, but I don't.
Okay.
What's going to happen to them if they keep falling?
Eventually, they'll fall onto the other elemental planes.
Right.
Depending on which side, depending on where you are, Harvey's a little bit turned around from the portal.
Yeah.
They'll either fall into the elemental plane of fire, but before they get there, the winds will become so searingly hot that they'll probably burn up.
Cool. Okay.
Or they'll fall into the elemental plane of water.
Chocolate?
I believe. Not chocolate, I'm afraid.
That's
but
my
before they get there, they'll just be pierced by these ice shards, which is what happens when wind cools water. So yeah, either way, if you just let them fall, they're probably gonna meet a pretty horrible death.
How long can we fall for?
What I would
Miles and miles.
An hour? Can I take?
You don't know.
Can I take a short rest while I'm falling?
You don't have any more beast shapes, do you?
Nope.
I feel really bad because everybody else is operating on full capacity. So I'm going to say you had a short rest at the beginning of this session because it's only fair.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wait.
I guess I would see everybody falling, and my instinct would be to go for the one that seems most helpless, being Barksby as a dog.
Okay, so Barksby is currently a dog.
So you
but
go for the
as-
shapeshifter.
But as
I dive and grab Barksby.
As you grab Barksby, I'm a cow again, and now I'm a giant eagle.
Okay, so as you swoop towards Barksby, the dog turns back into the 7-foot bovine furbolg, and then from there his arms become wings, and he's suddenly a giant eagle.
And then I grab Locke, who's right next to me.
Okay, Barksby catches themselves and grabs Locke. Locke, are you allowing him to grab you?
100%.
Okay, which means it's just Hearthborn who's falling.
Which I dive towards Hearthborn.
Okay, can I get athletics
Try and grab her.
checks from both Harvey and the eagle? Barksby. 6. Okay.
Athletics?
+2.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry. While that's happening, can I, if I were to summon a steed,
Giant
Yeah.
eagle.
it does specifically say that none of them will help me. I could summon a camel, but the GM may allow me to summon other types, like a Pegasus. It doesn't say that. I'm just gonna.
I think there's a spell called Summon Greater Steed,
I get the.
which is a
rubbish
third level spell. Have you got any third level spell slots?
I've got
Okay, so I'm going to allow, just for the sake of this, as Harvey swoops down and just misses you, he's not fast enough because you were messing around trying to catch Barksby at the beginning. I'm going to allow, if you cast Find Steed at 3rd level and channel
Please.
more of your powerful energy into it, I'll allow you to find a Pegasus.
And I've written Pegasus. I like where my character's going.
Okay, so would you like to narrate how that spellcasting happens for us?
Well, it's a half person, half dragon riding on a half horse.
Okay,
half
no,
winged
but
beast.
I'm just-
What more information do you need?
No, I did, like, is there any...
So I reach way back to my great grandfather, who actually wasn't all that great apparently, but he did fight in a great war which my tribe lost. But he did ride on a winged Pegasus, and I summon him by tapping into his power case within my shield I wield, and his form springs forth, and he summons his ancestral beast from years ago.
Sure,
to aid me.
So initially you see it through the shield, like your heads-up display from before.
It's galloping towards me. Yes.
And then when you remove your shield, it actually exists in reality. And Harvey, all of a sudden, a Pegasus catches this guy, and he's on the Pegasus. He seems fine.
And I decide to flip the bird because I'm like,
He's right here, come on!
Rude.
17.
Sorry, 17. Okay, yeah, you managed to catch Locke easily and lift him up.
I try to get him on my back.
So Locke, you're the only one who can't fly right now.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
How many cultists have been left behind?
They've left 2 behind, and they're both, again, spellcasters. They seem to be preparing spells.
And how close together are they?
They're sort of, I would say, the length of this stage apart, while the portal is in the middle of them.
Perfect.
As you look up through the infinite sky towards them.
I mentally communicate, because obviously it's quite loud with all the wind and that.
Yeah.
And say, throw me into the middle of them, and then get 10 feet away from me. It's going to be a trick shot.
Okay. So I'm going to let you use your 17 from before, and you just... I don't know, how does a bird trick shot a half devil?
I'm going to, I'll probably try and help by jumping in the right direction.
Just fly.
I help.
Okay.
Just do long swoops that get faster and faster.
Okay, fantastic. And you suddenly find yourself rocketing towards the 2 cultists, free-falling sideways. Can I get an acrobatics check from you?
Yeah.
As the wind begins to cross-cut you.
Yes!
18.
Ah, there we go.
At this point, I'm also going to say Harvey doesn't know what Locke's up to, but prepares to catch him once he's done whatever he's doing.
Okay, fair enough. So you fly down below the portal and look to see. I got you.
When I'm within range, I cast Arms of Hadar.
Oh, okay, cool.
So as I come through, tendrils spring out of me, and as I scream, black tendrils turn to grasp at them.
Fantastic. So what do I need to roll? Is that
You
strength?
need to roll
If I remember correctly.
strength saving throw.
Well, I rolled a 2 and a 1, so I'm pretty sure they both fail.
So they take 1, 2, second.
Yes. That's my roll. No pun intended. No. Sometimes, like, not in the way that we're playing it. Like, different people play it different ways. Some people get a kick out of the GM doing all the rolls for everyone, but half the fun is rolling dice. So, right, what did you get?
So that's 14.
Oh, that'll kill him.
And they've got tendrils now.
So, sure. So these black tendrils leech out from you and wrap around each of the cultists, squeezing them too hard to the point where they suffocate in space, held aloft. What are you doing from there?
So if the tendrils are attached to me and I'm hanging in between.
Yeah, so what you guys can see is Locke is now suspended by these black eldritch tentacles, which are around these two creatures. Unfortunately, as they become unconscious, the fly spell is going to stop, so they begin to drop on either side of you.
I spread out my arms and tail and legs to kind of slow the fall and hope that one of my friends catches me.
At which point, I fly up and catch him, and I just take both of us straight through the portal.
Yep. No reminiscing about your home.
Didn't even have to.
No, we're chasing an evil priest guy. We need to get on with it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So you through this portal as well. Pegasus, Barksby, Eagle, fantastic. You're going in through.
I'm just like
Cavalier style.
I probably just show off a bit, like do a little bit of a flip as I go.
Sure, roll an acrobatics check for me.
I've got, oh no, that's athletics.
That's athletics.
I see him showing off. Bloody amateurs.
I get a 9. Yeah, 9.
It's not the best flip you've ever done, but you haven't ridden a Pegasus in a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very awkward sort of barrel roll.
My great grandfather's like.
And
he goes, "This is why we don't let women drive," and that's relevant. And that's relevant to my character arc.
Okay. On the other side of the portal, the sky is just dark, and all of you get a very evil feeling from this place. In fact, as you're flying, you find yourself in a tunnel. Yes, a dark sort of granite tunnel. Ahead of you, the tunnel stretches out and round a corner, round another corner as you barrel in, trying to keep up with the cultists. Can I get athletics checks from everybody to not smash into a wall?
17.
Do I need to roll?
21.
You carry me?
Disadvantage because you're carrying a person.
Lame.
21, you're fine.
17.
17. 6. Okay, cool. You're going to have to drop lock, but it's fine. So what happens is Harvey is desperately trying to make the corner as fast as possible, and in doing so drops lock, and lock's momentum carries them into the wall. Can I get an acrobatics check again just to make sure you don't face plant? 9. Yeah, you face plant into the wall.
Yeah. I've got this! I was doing so many impressive things.
You take 4 bludgeoning damage as you do a comedy splat against this wall to the side.
Not invisible.
Can I do a hard turn and pick him up?
Yeah, sure. Well, there's so this tunnel breaks out into a massive cavernous underground cave, huge, and ahead of you the tunnel becomes a sort of a stone bridge, which is only 5 feet across, and it carries on all the way to the other side of the cavern. Down below, either side, you can't see the ground. This is, again, you could fall for hours, for all you know. There is a huge fiery creature stood in the middle of the bridge. And behind him, you can see, this thing, you can see, again, another portal as Zooktus through the bridge.
Does he
James?
shout?
Yes.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Does he shout?
Does he shout, "You shall not pass"?
No, he doesn't.
We were all thinking it.
Because even I'm not that cheesy, James.
Good. Well, I'm glad you know you have limits.
Yeah. This thing roars, though, and it brings its massive shield. You're quite jealous, to be honest. It's about a 12-foot tall shield. This thing is a giant, and it brings it down in front of the portal. It's going to defend the portal. Can I get... I think we'll go into initiative order, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
So this is just... we're rolling to see who moves first, who acts first.
20.
20?
12.
12.
12.
I'll stop the questions.
It's okay.
No, good.
Is a 20-sided dice? How is somebody getting more than 20?
Because they're adding
Because
bonuses.
they're cheats.
Yeah, so
And he's very bad at spotting cheating.
Bugs me, what'd you get?
15.
so yeah.
Yeah, we roll.
So,
He's just a big fan.
yes. In fact, two of our players here have paid, they've bought tickets to come and play with us on stage. So, yes, thank you. So, having the best athletics check coming out of the tunnel, Hearthborn managed to build some speed, and as they come round the corner, they act first. So, what's she doing?
How far
Pegasus.
away is it again? Sorry.
So, he's about 60 feet. This big giant thing is about 60 feet away, and behind him is the portal.
If I use my Pegasus, can I get round behind the shield in one turn, or would that be?
You probably can, but he's probably going to attack you if you do.
I'm going
It's up to you.
I'm going to cast Sanctuary.
Oh, okay. So and I'll narrate it for you if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
So as sorry, go for it. Just for the mics. As I've forgotten your name. Hearthborn casts this spell. Suddenly, it looks like a bunch of other bronze dragonborns pop up around her, as if they're there to take the blow for her at any given point, and they're magically flying along with her.
But this is on a person. It says protect a creature from attacks.
Yes.
So who wants this?
Oh, I thought you were casting it on yourself. Sorry, my bad.
No. I'm a team player.
Who are you casting it on?
Who wants it? Who needs it? Who's a glass cannon? Glass cannon is somebody who can deal a lot of damage but can't take it.
Lock is
Like the opposite of a tank. Yes, lock. That kind of stroke your face awkwardly. I'm new at this.
And the dragonborns all take stances around you. It looks like they're ready to defend you if needs be.
Thanks, guys.
So that's your action, and then with your movement, you want to try and move around. Is that what you were saying?
but keep a bit of distance in that case. If I can't attack them, I'll just kind of flank a bit.
Okay, cool.
Do we get? Does the flanks help in this version?
They do, yeah. But you
I'll do
have to
that
be in
then.
melee. Barksby.
What's the shield made of?
The shield is made of a dark iron.
Oh, dark iron.
No, he's an eagle now. I know. This is happening. There's a lot going on.
He is a cow, naturally.
Yes.
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 What a cow.
What are you doing, Barksby?
Count iron as stone-ish, seeing as it's from the earth. Semantics. Question mark.
Can you?
Okay, I'm just checking.
Does it say?
It says stone, wood, and plaster-ish things. So now.
So no. It usually specifies if you can do metal.
Oh well. Can I try and just fly around the shield then?
Okay, you going the same way as Hearthborn or the opposite way?
Opposite way.
Okay, so the two
Nice.
the two flyers. No offense, Harvey. So Hearthborn swings out to the left, and Barksby swings out to the right as a giant eagle, trying to flank this creature. And as you do, it gets rather upset, and it's going to throw a fireball at Hearthborn, I'm going to say. So can I get a dexterity saving throw from you, please?
Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20, okay.
I've been rolling great today.
So that's a critical success. So that's 12, 24, so you take 12 points of fire damage as this thing suddenly, from behind its shield, lobs a ball of fire towards you. It strikes the back of you and your Pegasus, burning you once again. A lot of fireballs coming your way.
Pretty rubbish for a Dragonborn, but hey.
Yeah, well, there we are. Who has the higher dex score out of Locke and Harvey? I'm guessing Harvey.
Harvey definitely does.
12. I've got 12.
Okay, can you roll a d6 quickly, just to see? Because we got a tie here.
It's Harvey.
Harvey, your turn.
I cast banishment.
Amazing. Okay, so do you want to do you want to narrate that?
Yeah, and it's charisma. Yeah? I think so. Pretty sure.
Okay.
Sorry about this.
Come on, rules.
Oh, it's not even working. Right.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll say it's charisma. I think it's charisma.
I'm pretty sure. So I, as Hearthstone and Barksby kind of flank this creature. What's it called?
It is a fire giant.
It's a fire giant. As this fire giant, I basically sort of fly directly at it, hands held out, very much in a Street Fighter kind of way. A glowing ball of green energy appears between my hands and just shoots, hitting it right between the eyes.
Now, I rolled pretty well. What's your DC? So this is
16.
16. I rolled 15.
Oh,
yes!
there we go.
So as this green orb strikes the fire giant right between the eyes, it just disappears out of existence, sent to a demi-plane, probably back to the fire plane.
Yeah.
Yes, and the path is once again clear for you guys to travel into.
And I don't even stop. I just keep flying at speed through the portal.
I won't have stopped as well. I would just keep running after. I'm getting a black eye from hitting a wall.
I'm carrying you now.
Aye. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. In that case, I'm riding his back.
Okay.
I say onwards, Peggy. I can do the name thing too.
Peggy the Pegasus. Okay, as you pass into the portal, you're in another strange plane of existence. You're running through cobbled streets, and the buildings around you are quite tall, and they're all made out of what looks to be stone as you're moving, sort of a clay set stone, and it's quite impressive to have this much. These guys are from a medieval society. To have this much sort of stone-based buildings in a city is impressive. And as you turn around a corner, there is smoke and fog just surrounding you. You can see the green glow of a portal just further on. These people in black clothes and hats all over, and horses and carriages going to and fro. Can I get perception checks from everyone, please?
9.
Oh.
I don't know. Ask them.
It's a just chase scene.
Not seen
Dramatic
anybody
chase
else.
scene.
We've not seen anyone else yet, other than people that are attacking us. Well, we've only just got here, so
We'll
maybe
lose the cultist leader if we stop.
Let's see what happens.
20.
20? What'd you get, Harvey?
Sorry, 9.
9?
15.
15?
21.
21. Okay, so those of you who got over 20, or 20 and above, rather, you can see through this pea soup of fog. You can see the cult have just gone through another door over the street, which has suddenly become a portal for some reason. What you see is you don't quite see that, but you do see the green glow through the fog. And you see a couple of people in very tall, sort of looking helmets. And they're riding on a carriage with a bell, and they seem to have spotted the cult as they went through, and they're taking an interest. They're swooping down off of their carriages, and they're approaching to interrogate you. Harvey, you see nothing. It's fog. There are people. There's really lots of stone buildings. This is quite impressive. Chase.
Yeah.
That's what you've got at the moment. Go on. Yeah.
So how does that affect how people function or when you start homeland?
Yeah, eventually. So, obviously, they don't want to stop and rest and heal themselves because they're trying to catch up with these guys. So
He's He's
Pretty
got a
much,
sense
yeah.
of vitality.
Yeah.
That's slowly getting out away.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. No, that's all right. So, what do we do as a party?
I cast Charm Person
On
the,
what?
the person who looks to be about to interrogate us.
Okay.
Um,
I've got to roll a charisma saving throw, don't I?
Plobs.
Yeah, natural 20.
Yeah.
So you try and charm this person, that you try and, your red energy tries to engulf his head, and all that happens is he goes, Paul! Paul! He's doing something strange! and he pulls out a black sort of club from his belt and starts running towards you.
I just realised where we are. Oh man! I'm just going to swoop towards the portal dive bomb.
Okay, cool. The giant eagle just goes straight towards the portal, straight
With lock
across.
on.
Okay. What are the two of you doing?
Question: when we went into the airplane, not the airplane, the plane of air.
Yep.
Different story.
And don't call me Shirley.
Nice. Did the portal close behind us when we entered?
You didn't stop to check.
Did the other portals close at all? Do you know?
So you look over your shoulder. The portal is indeed gone,
Okay, that's
as far as you can see.
That's hopefully good because there was a large crowd of people following us, and I realised we never told them not to come through the air portal. So hopefully that's closed, and there's not like the computer game Lemmings where they're just following. So my paladin sense is like I should help. Gosh.
That would have been a good thought about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Considering how many druids we have this year, they'll be fine.
That'll be fine.
So I've not seen the portal, but I do see.
You do see these
my
two.
friends.
What are, for the sake of the audience now, Bow Street runners
Yeah.
standing there in their cloaks with their clubs.
But I mean, I see Barksby and Locke diving for
Yes.
something. I don't know exactly what, but I decide to follow them.
Okay. Can I get a dexterity check from you just to see if you can outrun these two proto-policemen?
Dexterity 6.
6. Okay. So, as you're looking over your shoulder, Halfstone, Stone, what you see when you look back is that your friend Harvey has just been grappled by these two guys. As Harvey tried to outrun them, but they just jumped and tackled them, Harvey to the floor. And now these two people are freaking out. They're having a conversation like, Is it a bird? It must be a demon. I've no idea what's going on. I'm very scared. And he raises his club to hit Harvey over the head with it.
We haven't known each other long enough for me to know if you've got lightning damage resistance, so don't tell me.
That bodes well.
Whenever I meet someone new, I always think, how conductive are they?
Yeah. I'll have to press you.
I'm going to do non-lethal attacks on both of them.
Okay, roll.
So I've got extra attacks.
Roll your attacks. Can you roll them at the same time, just because we're pressed for time now?
9 and a 2. Oh, that was rubbish. 9 and a 2.
They're not wearing armor. What is that post you modifiers?
So that'd be a 16 and a 9.
A 9. The 9 misses, but the 16 hits.
Okay, cool.
Non-lethal damage. So you come in with the pommel of your axe and try and knock the guy out.
It was like one shield, one pommel axe. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And do I roll again?
Roll for your damage. So that'll be your D8.
Oh, sorry.
And then add
So much happening.
That's fine.
It's all gone wrong. 8, yes.
8, yeah, you knock this guy out, and Harvey, the guy who was holding you down, has just been knocked out. As you do that, Halfstone, the other Bow Street runner looks up at this Pegasus with a half dragon on the back of it, and loses his mind. He falls back screaming like, ah! Ah! The two of you have the opportunity to just get up and run.
Yeah.
Hop on. I think Peggy can take 2. Oh no, sorry. Yeah,
No.
I
don't need to.
That's
and I
overkill.
just fly off.
That's overkill.
The two of you fly through the portal, and as the chase scene continues through dimension to dimension, this is where we're going to have to leave this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the show, please do spread the word on your social medias, on Facebook, Instagram, and indeed Twitch, where we're live streaming everything at Adventurers Wanted. On Twitter, we're at Adventurers250. Like I said, we have, 22 hours left now. So if you do want to come back and see where it goes, we're performing for 4 hours from the 10:30, last doors 1:30, all the way up until the 26th. But if you can't follow us there, then like I say, we're live streaming on Twitch, and Naomi, our stage manager, has been live tweeting everything on Twitter, so you can read it and keep up that way instead. If you really enjoyed what we're doing, check out what we're doing elsewhere. We have a Patreon page. We have a donate button on our website for anybody who would like to support us. We do this every month in London, and we do free play events as well, where we try and bring D&D as a hobby to a wider, more inclusive audience. I'm aware that we're portraying a stereotype at the moment, James,
Yes,
aren't
I
we?
mean, we all look like clones of each other.
Yeah, but we do have friends who are not white men with beards. Yeah, we do events in London. We did, the last one was in Shoreditch, wasn't it? Shoreditch Town Hall.
We have a monthly, we have devoted in the Scotland in Shoreditch Town Hall last time, but we also run a monthly show
In Hackney.
Theatre in Haggerston.
Oh, Haggerston. Yeah, that's right.
But that's not pay play or charity or anything like that. It's go and watch the narrative.
But yes, we are trying to be inclusive and bring more people into the hobby. You guys seem to have a lot of questions, which was nice. It meant you were engaging. No, it meant you were engaging with the material rather than just sitting there and going, oh, this is weird, which people can do.
That's mostly what I'm doing.
Cool. Very, very, very quickly, because we're running out of time, I just need to hand over to our players to plug one line, guys, sorry, something that they're doing in the Fringe. Nathan?
Agent November, escape game, loads of fun, very interactive, 11 shows a day. Agent November is the show, look it up.
Fantastic. Jim?
Not a Fringe thing. Look at my website. I write and draw things at a very slow pace. It's macdermog.com. That's MACDERMOG.
James?
Late night comedy game show called Imaginary Porno Charades. Could be quite open to go to with your mum.
Jamie?
If you're an Edinburgh resident and you're into this kind of thing, check out Black Lion or Games Hub or any of our game cafes that are around the city. Look it up online.
Fantastic. So last thing that I need to do is please a round of applause for our fantastic players. And we hope to see you again. If you do want to stay for the next hour, you do need to leave and refresh your ticket. Sorry about that.